Welcome back to another episode of Lionheart Radio. I'm your host, Rick Alexander, founder of Louis Supplement Company based in San Diego, California. Sadly, I'm not here with Memo or Claudia today. They did not make the trip. They're back in San Diego. We are recording live from Bally's Casino in Las Vegas from the WABDL. Yep. And we are here with Louis Vuitton athlete Ryan Martin, who just took home a second consecutive World Championship title. So, WABDL, that's World, what is it?
World Association of Benchers and Deadlifters.
Okay. So, actually, I should say thanks for being on here. Probably the first thing we should do.
Yeah.
All right, so...
it's already getting off to a fucking great start.
All right, so what I wanted to do before he had the chance to talk was give everybody a quick warning. If you are in the car with your kids, turn it down or listen at a different time. On top of Ryan being Ryan, we also are deep into a Vegas trip. So my brain's firing on one cylinder right now after a night in Vegas.
And I had one to begin with, and it's fucked now.
And the only cylinder you've had is gone. So hopefully by the time this whiskey's gone, we'll be back at it. We'll be back on top. All right, so what were we talking about? So back to WABDL. Last year you did bench and deadlift. This year you just went for the bench press, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you hit a 424 bench press?
424.6, honey? Yeah, 224.6.
So that's raw.
Yes.
That's completely, we're talking
total raw dog. Yep.
So, all right, so what is... For people that are listening, because you see people like hit 700, 900 pound bench press. Let's talk about the differences right now real quick. So
you're about to get me in trouble. You have a lot of gear lifters pissed at me.
Why?
Well, the difference is, I mean, you bench shirt, you get, if you know how to use the shirt correctly, you can get anywhere from 10 pounds to 300 pounds out of a decent shirt. A bench press shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
But you get nothing out of a t-shirt, and that's why I lift in a fucking t-shirt.
So what is the difference between the plies? You hear like single ply, double ply. Do you know what that's about?
It's layers. It's double layers. Okay. I mean, you single ply, double ply, multiply. It's whatever the fuck you want to do. Single ply. You'll notice the difference between a single ply record and a multiply record because it's double the shirt.
Okay.
The best way to describe it, you've...
So let me ask you this. So I dabble in powerlifting. I've done a couple meets, but for me, I would say lifting and gear, and I'm like, okay, those aren't your numbers, right? And I don't want to be a dick, but I'm trying to figure out, like
I said, we're going to piss off a lot of gear lifters right now.
Well, so I'm trying to figure out what is the appeal. Is it just so that you can say, like, hey, I have a 900 pound bench?
The initial reason for the gear was just to be protective. You got guys like Kazmaier that'll openly admit,
Bill Kazmaier.
Yeah, that'll openly admit that the shit they wore back in the 80s, the late 80s, the late 70s, early 80s. That's nothing compared to the stuff they have now, and it was a protective measure for them. You got guys blowing out pecs and this and that.
Okay.
But the gear that's on the market now is insane. Like I said, you could spend anywhere from $100 on a shirt up to $500 on a shirt, and you can, like I said, you can get anywhere from 10 pounds to 300 pounds out of a shirt if you know how to use it correctly.
Right.
It's definitely a way different way of training, and I have the utmost respect for geared guys because I've been in a shirt and I know how bad it sucks. I've been in a squat suit and I know how bad it sucks. You black out in those things. It's not comfortable. There's nothing comfortable about it. It's by far more uncomfortable than just lifting raw. But once you dial in your suit, you have to learn how to work the shirt, work the suit, and it's tough. It's not easy to do. But I did a meet a couple of years ago, and I was going to bench in a shirt, and I couldn't get my shirt on because I bought it when I was 215 and I was 240, so I couldn't get the fucking thing on.
Yeah,
and one of the guys in the warm-up room said to me, you know, how much do you bench raw? And I said, around 400. And he goes, well, Christ, I don't bench more than 315 raw. And I was like, oh, well, good for you. And then I looked at the opener sheet, and this kid's opening at like 712.
Oh my god!
And he can't bench 315 in a fucking t-shirt, and but he's gonna hit a 700-pound opener. He didn't hit it because he's an idiot, but he didn't hit it.
But you're talking double.
Exactly. I mean, and this kid can't hit a 17. I mean, he can't hit a 315 bench, but he in a t-shirt in warm-ups.
Yeah.
But he's getting under 700 pounds on the platform.
That's crazy.
And
that makes me want to buy a shirt.
And I refused.
700-pound bench.
But I refused. Then they're going to put me in a different shirt. They're like, well, we have a shirt for you. We'll put this shirt on you. And I was like, the way that I operate, fuck it, is how I operate. And I was like, all right, well, I'll put the shirt on. So I put the shirt on, and I couldn't even get 500 in my chest.
You're saying when you took the
I'm in warm-ups. I'm in warm-ups.
Yeah. You couldn't even get the bar.
I couldn't get the bar to my chest with 500, and they're like, put 600 on.
That's crazy.
And I was like, I can't.
What?
Like, no, fuck this. I'll go raw.
Yeah.
And like, oh no, you should try. I'm like, fuck you. Like, I've never been under 600 pounds in my life on a bench. I'm not gonna touch it today.
Yeah.
Let alone 30 minutes before I have to be on the fucking platform. Wow, so they tell me, they're like, well, if you want a big bench, you got to learn how to bench in a shirt.
Yeah.
This is what this kid said to me that has a 315 raw bench, and he bombed out that meet. I'm not going to say any names. Fuck that kid. But I go out there and I blow. I think it was 416, and I tore my pec at that meet. But I hit 416. Went back in the warm up room, and
raw. Yeah. Okay.
Went back in the warm-up room after they had just told me that if you want a big bench, you got to learn to bench in a shirt. I walked back in the warm-up room and tell everyone and announce to everyone that I have the biggest fucking bench in the room.
Yeah.
Because the kid that had the biggest bench of the day can't hit 315 in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I didn't make any friends at that meet, and that's the federation that I'm at now.
Oh, okay.
They don't like me much.
Yeah.
But fuck them.
Okay. Just it's on the record.
Once again, if you got kids, whatever.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not somebody that hates on gear or whatever. I think
I'm not at all. I'm not at all because I know how hard it is to get in a shirt and get in a suit. I know how much it sucks.
Yeah. Well, in any gear, I mean, I essentially never squat without wraps or sleeves, mostly for support. Like at the end of it, like
I wear wraps and I wear sleeves. I mean, I'm a knee sleeve whore. I've got probably. If she's not listening, I've got probably a couple $100 just tied up in knee sleeves.
Yeah,
because I am a knee sleeve whore.
Yeah, dude, I want the American flag ones. Have you seen those?
Yeah, they're badass. Yeah, that's my next purchase. I have the other ones, but they look like a Puerto Rican flag. The ones that I have,
of course they do.
And I look like me, so it looks more like a Puerto Rican flag.
Yeah. So, oh man, Memo, you're gonna have to edit a lot of this. Sorry, bud.
Sorry.
All right, so well, we have a mutual friend / acquaintance, we'll call it, who's all we talked about this post a while ago, but they were like, essentially, if you hit a PR and you have any assistance whatsoever.
Are you fucking kidding? You're gonna bring this fucking kid up in this thing? Are you really trying to set me off to the point where Memo's gonna have to spend half a week editing out the fucks out of this thing?
No, I'm simply bringing it up just to say.
Oh my god!
You know, there are people out there that feel that way, right?
I get it, and you can feel that way. You can feel that way if you're hitting some decent numbers. You're allowed to feel that way. There are guys that don't even put a belt on, guys that don't put wraps on, guys that don't do shit, and they're hitting big numbers. But if you're some little cocksucker that's going to sit there and talk about gear lifting, this and that, or even his problem isn't even with gear lifting, it's with lifting in a gym in general.
Yeah.
He's too busy rolling around in the fucking field with a 20-pound rock and acting like he's doing something fucking productive, and he's not. Because you've seen what he looks like. He looks like shit. He's fit, but he's skinny, and no one gives a shit. You put a t-shirt on that kid, and he just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like a guy.
Right.
Just some fucking dude at the bar. Fine. You're handsome as shit, kid. Yeah. I get it. But you're an asshole.
All right.
No, I'm sorry. Jesus.
All right. So I'm gonna attempt to keep this conversation.
You did that.
Yeah, I did.
You totally did it on purpose.
I'm gonna keep this conversation from getting derailed right now.
Okay.
So coming into this, we'll get back to the whole gear.
No, we're not gonna get back to that.
All right.
Well,
so
we can. That's fine.
Coming into this meet, you were extremely injured, right? So let's talk about what are you looking at for injuries this year alone?
Total?
Well, so all right, you won the world championships last year, deadlift and bench.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Since then, what have you injured?
I tore both biceps off.
Okay.
Like clean the fuck off.
All right. What else? Is that it? Because I feel like every day I talk to you, you're like, oh yeah, I just
Well, I mean, I tore my
blew a
pec
rib
off.
out my back. Bad day.
Yeah, no, my rib pops in and out, and it always has been that way. The bicep thing is by far probably the worst injury I've had.
Yeah.
As far as what I do, I mean, you figure with strongman and Highland Games and all the other shit that I do that you need them shits to do stuff.
Biceps, you mean?
Yeah,
Sure.
And like to work. I mean, I swing a hammer for a living, and you need both of them to do that. But it didn't slow me down. Well, it did, but.
So, do you think that are injuries like that pretty common in powerlifting, or
extremely? When you do a mixed grip, which is one hand over, one hand under
on the deadlift,
it's always the underhand that pulls your bicep off.
Okay. Oh yeah, makes sense.
But most guys, after tearing one bicep off,
call it a day.
Doing that, they don't just switch to the other hand up, right, so they can tear the other fucking one off.
And is that what you did?
That's exactly what I did.
That's how you did it?
With the same exact weight.
God, really?
So I found the max capacity for my bicep is 615. I figured out.
Okay.
But now that I can pull with a mixed grip with very little irritation to either bicep.
Yeah.
And then I can't tear it off again because it's off, and I never get it reattached, and it's off.
Right.
I think I'm probably good.
So
I'll just pull 700.
So I think that's one of the crazy things about powerlifting is you see guys, they get so strong, like quicker than their body can handle, right? Like I remember when I first worked up to I think 585 was the heaviest dead I ever got. On the way up there, though, I remember it tearing the skin off my hands because I'm like, well, my skin...
That happens every day.
Right. But I just remember thinking, like, damn, so the skin on my hand literally cannot hold up what I'm trying to lift. And it can't.
It never will be able to.
Right.
Your skin's the most fragile part about you.
Yeah. Well, so I think that's one of the problems with... that you run into when you juice too much, right? Or not too much, but...
Absolutely.
When you...
Your muscle... You start... And again, I am not talking shit about anybody doing steroids. Not at all.
Right. No,
but
when you start
doing shit,
gear,
your muscle growth, all that stuff, and strength, it happens so rapidly.
Yep.
And your tendons and ligaments can't keep up.
Right.
And if you're doing something like Winstrol or Anavar or Tren, any of those that tend to dry your joints and ligaments out. That tends to happen more when you're doing maximum output.
Yeah.
So I'm not a specialist on any of this. Yeah. I just know what I know.
Well, what's pretty common for we might as well talk about it because I think in powerlifting, it's almost crazy when they do test, right? Because I just think it's at a point now where it's like so widely accepted. You're doing everything you can to get stronger. It's crazy to me that they would think that wouldn't be part of it. And I think people try to test to they think somehow it legitimizes their federation or something more.
I think that the testing in bodybuilding, in my opinion, and this is my opinion,
yep,
in bodybuilding is more bullshit than testing in any of the other strength sports.
Okay. Why?
Because it's what the fuck? Why the fuck are you going to test for this?
Right.
And you got these natural guys. And some of these natural guys look fucking amazing, but you got guys on the stage at the Arnold or the Olympia that are. You look at Arnold Schwarzenegger back then, and you look at I'm dating myself, Ronnie Coleman, and the rest of these guys now. Yeah. And, Phil Heath. Fuck Phil Heath, by the way. Phil Heath, if you're listening, go fuck yourself. I met you at the Arnold. You were a dick. But and I'm sure you're not listening because you got other shit to do, like hit your girlfriend. But
I'm just glad that you just ruined any chance that I would ever have of having him on the podcast.
You won't, because he's a fucking asshole. All
right, keep going. I don't want to keep going though. Keep going.
But the
hold on, but the Olympia
pharmaceutical, the shit that's gone on in the last even the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. The shit they're putting out now, these guys. Look at these guys.
But those aren't tested, right? I mean, the Olympia.
Some of them, they're not. They aren't on the Olympia. They're not tested.
You look at a final lineup, it's like, how do you even know, right?
It's insane.
I do think that it's good to have a natural league because for some people, it's just not their their jam, right? So
no, they don't want to do it. That's fine. Do that.
Right.
Be natural. Be natty. Do what you want, but shut the fuck up about it.
Well, sure, but I'm just saying, like, it's good for them to have a natural somewhere that those dudes
absolutely.
can compete,
and just like
they'd never be able to compete
in natural in drug tested power federations.
Yeah,
it's fine, but you look at the numbers in a drug tested federation. You look at the numbers like the WABDL, and I lived in the WABDL. And I fucking love the WABDL.
Yeah.
In USAPL, you look at those numbers, and they're bullshit.
Why?
Not bullshit, but they're. You look at the difference between. Sorry, not bullshit. I'm gonna get kicked out of every federation that I lived in. But you look at the numbers between drug tested and non-drug tested, and it's insane.
Yeah.
And it's
we're low key thinking about starting our own federation. So if you get kicked out, it might just be
I'll just start my own, and it's going to be do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Do meth on the platform. I don't give a shit. Just don't die on me, and we're going to have to file a police report. I don't give a shit what you do.
Dude, insurance is going to go up substantially when it's okay to do meth. I guarantee it.
Just everything. Yeah, do everything you want, like that skit, the SNL skit. Do every drug you want.
Yeah.
Olympics, but. Where we? Anyway, there's an outlet for natural guys. That's good.
Yeah,
and it's good that they have that, because if you don't, then all these guys that are naturally strong, like Karen and the people that have lifted this weekend, except for that one chick that Gus called out.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So right now, we were down listening to the WABDL announcer, founder, president, whatever he is. And he's talking about what is he doing, the Hall of Fame inductions, and he's getting ready to induct this girl. And
Karen Campo, who's one of the sweetest women of all time.
Yeah,
I can't say enough nice things about Karen.
It was interesting though. I mean, he spent a lot of time trying to justify that she was drug free, yada yada. And I don't think anybody cared.
She's 50. She's 50-something years old. And she benches 512 pounds.
Jesus.
So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are like, she's got to be on steroids.
Yeah,
she's got to be on steroids. Well,
so that explains it. But he had a little caveat in there. You talked about this lady yesterday who had a 541-pound deadlift, and he was talking about she hit her monster deadlift, and I guess the place was going nuts. I'm sure. I mean, a girl hits a 540-pound deadlift.
We're already half of the bag down in New York.
Yeah, and then they go to drug test her, and she bounces. It's pretty interesting, just that he,
Well, if you saw those, I mean, you saw a lot of those women in the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Sorry, Memo, but. There was 3 women in line with me at weigh-ins. Those chicks. I mean, some of those, but it's geared women doing steroids.
Yeah,
it's obvious. It's way more obvious than a guy doing steroids. Like, you can look at it and you can.
Yeah, I will say I think I've been around strength sports for long enough where I 9 times out of 10 I feel like I could tell you whether a dude did or not, because there's just certain things you see, like the muscle density, the elasticity of the skin. Like, there's just certain things that you can. There's a lot of, especially if they're on, right?
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, if they're not, it's hard to tell.
You can tell, but with a woman, there's way more indicators.
Actually.
I mean, actually like 3, but they're huge.
Right. Well, because you're giving, some male hormone.
Yeah.
Right. So it's actively, like, if you were transgender or whatever, that would be what you would be doing.
There's nothing wrong with that. Apparently,
just switch over. All right. So. Just gonna motor through that one, but back to the point. What the point is that to me it's almost crazy when they do drug tests, because I'm like, I just think it's so open in the community, and you're doing everything else to get stronger. If you have a 315 bench and you put a suit on that helps you bench 700 pounds, why in the hell?
Why the fuck does it matter what he's on?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right, like, why are we splitting hairs with the hormones that you're doing when you can double your bench press?
I agree. Once again, I'm gonna probably get myself kicked out of some federation. But no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
If you're gonna put a shirt on that's gonna give you 300 pounds out of your shirt, and if you're gonna put a needle in your ass that's gonna give you 40 pounds on your max raw bench, then fuck you. Like, why not?
Well, that's an argument too, right? You put a suit on, you put a shirt on, and you're there. You didn't have to do anything. You just put it on. Where if you have to learn how to use it, right? But I'm saying it's an instant gratification. When you do steroids,
you're gonna get a lot of guys piss at you now.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's fine.
That's fine.
You're not around like I am. So.
Right.
By the way, I don't agree with anything you just said.
Yeah. So I'm not. I'm just putting facts out there. It's an instant thing, right?
Yeah.
You
No.
learn how to use it.
No. Once you learn how to use a shirt, you can, like I said, you can get 300 pounds out of a fucking shirt.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like steroids aren't instant. So if you do steroids, like
it's not magic.
Have to put
it's
in
not
work.
fucking magic.
Right.
It's not magic. You're not going to put a needle in your ass, walk into the gym, squat 1,000 pounds.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. So for me, I just think it's crazy that it's like, okay, we're good with that, but this we're going to care about. It's like you can't just pick what you care. I mean,
with powerlifting, it's more prevalent. With the drug tested federations, there's a lot more drug tested federations in powerlifting than strongman. In strongman, there's two in the amateur level. There's two big federations for the amateur level. That's it.
What are they? Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
Gotcha. Yeah, got it.
I'm the state chair for one of them, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up. But there's no drug testing in strongman, and there fucking shouldn't be.
You want to see Clydesdales?
No one gives a
lift
shit.
1,000 pounds off the ground.
And there is drug tested strongman.
Really?
See?
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
You said really? Like you never heard of it?
Right.
No shit, because no one gives a fuck about it.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you lift in one of those federations, you know what? I try to not offend as many people as I can, but if you lift in a drug-free strongman corp, fuck you. No one cares about what the fuck you're doing. And whether you're on shit or not, like there are strong ass guys. Ryan Largay is a good friend of mine. He's a monster. Nick McPhee is a fucking monster, and that kid is killing it.
Animal.
And he's drug free. There are tons of guys that are drug free, but you don't hear him talking shit about the guys that are on drugs.
It's crazy because as we're talking, I think we're gonna get through some part of the conversation, and then you, without pissing anyone off, but then you circle back, offend them, and then we move on.
I don't care.
No, I don't either.
The reason why, I am who I am because that's how I operate.
Yeah.
But there are guys that lift at the amateur level, at the professional level. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Right. Well, and people don't care, right? Like, people have this like misguided, misplaced like sense of duty about steroids. It's like, and I think all of sport is going through this right now.
Oh, it's like bullshit.
It's like people watching TV, they want to care, they want to be like, no, it's like un-American for him to cheat. But
I want to find something to be pissed off about today.
Right, but what you really want to see this fucking animal lift 1,000 pounds off the ground for reps. That's
no one wants to see just some fucking dude that works at Rite Aid do whatever the fuck for no, you don't want to see that. You want to see a monster do what fucking monsters do.
Yeah.
The reason why I got into strength sports is because when I was 15 years old, I walked into a powerlifting meet and I watched monsters do what the fuck they do. I watched a guy split his head open on a squat bar.
Yep.
And Billy Minot, love you, Billy, split his fucking head open on a squat bar, and I'm 15 years old and I watched that, and that changed my life. Mm-hmm. I watched that happen and I was like, holy shit. Me and Adam LaBelle stood there and watched that. We both looked at each other and we both were like, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
And that's why my fucking forehead is scarred up. That's why I got a dent in my forehead from splitting my head open in a squat bar.
Yeah.
Watching a guy like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what people want to see. And if you don't want to see it, go watch fucking Grey's Anatomy or some shit. No one wants you around.
Right.
If that's not what you want to see, you don't have to see it.
Yeah, it is.
Watch
weird.
whatever you want to fucking watch.
But here's the thing: people want to see that. That's what I'm getting.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
If you just happen to, like when I did the strongman contest at Heritage Days, and it's not a big thing, but you walk by and you see some monster do something badass, you stop and watch.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And you're like, fuck the zipper today. I'm watching this happen now.
Yeah.
Like that, people who don't know anything about anything to do with strength sports have no idea what any of these numbers mean. They see a monster, they stop and watch.
Yeah.
And that's what people want to. That's what people want to see.
Right.
No one wants to see just some dude do just something.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about it.
And what's crazy too is so in bodybuilding, it's generally open. Like, I mean, you're not going to be a top bodybuilder without juice. It's just is what it is, right? But
you said that I didn't.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. I mean, I'm not like, I don't care. So I'm not like, I'm definitely not saying like, hey, you need this or you're shitty if you do this. All I'm saying is these are facts.
Yeah,
you're not going to be on an Olympia stage if you don't do steroids.
No, fuck you.
Right.
If you are, good for you. If you are,
that's insane.
And you're the 1% of human beings that get to talk shit about those guys.
Yeah, but
you get to do that.
You don't exist. Okay, now they're all.
I'm going to cover my bases.
So what I think is, if you offend everyone equally, I think that's the rule.
Yeah, right.
You can move on.
You can as long as you do LOL after, you're fine.
Right. So in the name of comedy, I think it all works out. So, but with bodybuilding, I think what you get is it's subjective, not objective, and that's like, so now, like we were saying, you look at this final at the Olympia, it's like, dude, how do you even tell them apart? But what's cool about strength sports, particularly like strongman powerlifting, you open these things up, it's objective. The weight goes up, and it's like you get to keep seeing it go up, and it's fucking
absolutely.
I mean, we looked at Pritchett yesterday, came in, and dude's got like 900,000-pound deadlift, something crazy.
And you got Eddie Hall pulling, 1080 or whatever the hell he pulled this year.
That's right. Is that the record? Is that?
I think so. And I don't know my fucking numbers, but Eddie Hall's the greatest thing in the world. And Benny Mag before that. You
hung out with him last year, or you did a shot with him actually.
I did a shot with him at the Arnold, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
But you got guys now. You got guys pulling 1,000 pounds. You got today at this thing.
Yeah.
You had a guy attempt a 900-pound bench.
Oh yeah, I posted that on the Louis Vuitton story on Instagram.
I mean, it's the human body. There's no limit to what the human body can do at this point.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutically,
right?
Whatever the fuck, who cares?
Yeah.
It's a human body. It's insane the shit that's going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was a huge year for deadlift. There's the first woman in the history of fucking deadlift. Mm-hmm. Pulled over 600 pounds at the U.S. Strongman Nationals this year, like a month ago.
Really?
This chick pulled 600 pounds.
That's amazing.
And it's fucking insane.
It is insane. I mean, Claudia, our co-host, she's like 130 pounds, and she's like dangerously close to hitting a 400-pound deadlift. It's absolutely insane. It's
insane the shit that is happening now.
Yeah. And for someone like me, it's like, dude, I'm so interested in like maximizing, like figuring out human potential. It's like such a badass thing to
But
witness.
you're never gonna figure it out,
right?
Because once you think that this is it, this is what we can do, like this is what the body can handle. You got guys that just defying that shit, and then as soon as they break ground, doing something that no one ever thought would ever happen, then it fucking happens, and there's not everyone, but there's guys after that and after that and after that, and it's crazy what just seeing somebody do something you didn't think could ever happen does for other people.
Yeah, it's amazing. David Epstein, he's an author of The Sports Gene. He does a TED Talk, and he's talking about, and it's actually pretty interesting, he takes all these different sports and he has different factors and he lays them out, and essentially what he shows you, which is kind of in contrast to what we're talking about, is that throughout time, humans haven't actually gotten fitter. We haven't gotten faster. We haven't gotten stronger. We haven't gotten yada yada. We've only gotten, it's like due to technology has advanced. So like the track that they ran on the Olympics in the 40s is obviously not as conducive to running fast as a track today. So if you were to take those factors and make them even, then what essentially you'd see is that humans haven't actually improved as much as, even though world records are being broken like constantly. But I think strength sports,
I think it's bullshit, because weight's weight, gravity's fucking gravity.
Well, I'm just saying, I think strength sports are like the one thing that is like, dude, the weight's going up. I don't know how
gravity's fucking gravity. Right. Pounds are pounds, kilos are kilos. Yeah. Gravity's fucking gravity.
Yeah, it wasn't different in the 40s.
No. Yeah. Just because. Fuck you then.
No, I mean, if you should go check it out. It's pretty cool to see. But
I'm pretty sure I'll watch it, and it's going to piss me off, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't talk about.
I got the gist of it. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, look at. I just gave you a TED Talk.
Yeah, I'm good. Fuck you, Ted.
I gave. Dude, you know what? It's like swimming. If you look at swimming, it's like every single Olympics, they break a world record, and every single final, it's like, how the hell is this happening?
Well, I don't know. Every powerlifting I've ever been to, they break a world record.
Like today, or yesterday when I was watching that meet, I was like, every single lift, he was like, oh, that's a whatever state record. Oh, that's a national record. The thing
because you got one chick lifting one person lifting in a class where things don't exist.
What do you mean?
Well, in powerlifting...
So this is a hard...
Unfortunately, in powerlifting, for me, this is the biggest issue I have with powerlifting. Sorry if this offends anybody that's in
now
the...
you're sorry.
No, I'm not fucking sorry. Okay. I'm sorry that if, you're in the 181-pound law enforcement submaster brown hair class, class 1, that you hit a fucking 200-pound bench, and now you have a world record because nobody else in the world is a law enforcement 181 submaster brown hair guy. Now you're a world record holder.
Yeah.
There's so many classes in powerlifting.
And that's
in
one
different
of the
federations, and that's one of the things that if and when we start our powerlifting federation, it's going to be pretty cookie cutter, pretty much bad fucking ass.
We have to, otherwise we're adding to the problem.
Exactly.
Which is
we're adding the problem of everyone gets a fucking trophy. Mm-hmm. You can show up and pick grass in the outfield, and you're a little league champion. Mm-hmm. In our bullshit society now, that's what bred this. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but when you give your kid a trophy for not doing anything, that's why we're in the state we're in now. Yeah. So fuck off. Yeah. But that's what a lot of powerlifting federations give you. Just here's a trophy.
Right.
You showed up. There you go.
Yeah. And that, like we were saying, that's one of the problems with powerlifting is that it's so. Well, one, between all the federations, they're not standardized.
Nope.
So. Yes, like whatever you're setting a record, we'll say main state record for, but it's in WABDL for your weight, for your for your class, for your age, for your all these different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the world championship that I won, if I can go and win a world championship in a different federation, it's going to justify everything I've ever done.
Yeah.
This doesn't justify shit to me. I'm a world champion 2 years in a row.
That's pretty awesome.
I fucking like it.
I was talking to Julie this morning. I'm like, I gotta be a world champion. Something, dude. It's pissing me off. I want to be a world champion.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the fucking.
But if I can do it someplace
5'10",
else,
bald guy, 205.
See, there you go. I'm a Native American, tattooed, brown hair, 5'6" guy.
Yeah. But we're low key plugging the federation. We're gonna start, but
we haven't figured the name out yet, but it's gonna happen. It's coming.
But that's something we have to it's something to really think about. It's like you can start another federation. There's nothing that says you can't, but if you just do it like everybody else, you're just adding to the problem. Which is
we're not going to do that.
Yeah, there's so
many.
We're
going to run. Well, you and I will have to talk about this.
Yeah.
But like strongman, there's a bunch of different weight classes depending on what happens, depending on how many lifters you get, and things change. With strongman, I'm going to piss off a lot of powerlifters, but with strongman, if something changes day of the meet, strongman just fucking do it.
Yeah, it's a lot more varied.
They just do it, and they're badasses, and they don't give a shit because they got the reason why they're there is to lift fucking heavy shit and do what they want. And I started out as a strongman. Powerlifting was secondary to me. Tearing both biceps off is pretty much limited me to just powerlifting. But strongman guys show up and they just lift. That's all they want to do. Guys want to show up and lift.
Yeah.
There's there's too much chalk in the platform. I'm in the 242 submaster law enforcement handicap, brown hair, blue eye. Fucking, I woke up today and didn't have enough bagels to eat.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to wait for me to get ready to warm up. Bullshit.
Right.
Strongman is fucking strongman. That's how it is.
Yeah. We need to figure out a way to bring that to powerlifting.
And that's what I'm saying. I want to bring my strongman mentality.
Yeah.
Mentality.
Okay.
To fucking powerlifting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's too many pussies in this sport.
Sure.
There's too many pussies in strength sports.
There you go. Piss them all off.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't give a shit about. I don't care.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. I
haven't even talked. I haven't talked shit once about CrossFit. You know that. I haven't said one goddamn thing about CrossFit.
That's true. All right. Last minute question.
Cut him off before he says anything about
CrossFit. Dude, we're getting close. I gotta jump on a plane to San Francisco. You need to go collect another world championship medal here.
Hopefully.
All right.
With a cocktail in my hand.
Final question: will powerlifting ever be in the Olympics?
Nope.
Why? Should it be?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It absolutely should be in the Olympics.
Okay. But with all the problems we just talked about, how could it be? You know what I mean?
You are absolutely trying to get me to piss a shitload of people off, and I'm gonna because I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Powerlifting will never be in the Olympics because no one can agree on shit. USAPL, fuck you. The IPF, all of you, fuck you. Figure it out. Figure out a set of rules.
Yeah.
This is how we're gonna do things. You want to run drug test fucking everybody. Do it. That's fine. But don't skip. It's bullshit. You can't do gear.
Right.
How are you gonna do gear in the Olympics?
Right.
I have a $300 shirt. I have a $100 shirt.
Yeah.
Are you on the same fucking level? Absolutely not.
Right.
If powerlifting,
Well, it's just like swimming, they outlaw some suits because they make you a lot faster, right?
I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I might have made that up.
Shave your taint and now you're faster. I don't give a shit I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But powerlifting will never be in the Olympics because no one can agree on a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Take all the and I'm sorry, USAPL, fuck you. I don't lift in your federation for a reason because you're assholes.
Yeah.
But you can't. There's the strongest guys in the world aren't going to be at the Olympics.
Why?
Because they're fucking rules and the bullshit.
Yeah. Interesting.
The strongest powerlifters, the strongest benchers, the strongest deadlifters, the strongest squatters will never be. Well, they're not going to be at the Olympics. So who gives a shit what they're doing?
Are they American? Who is the strongest?
In my opinion?
Yeah.
You're asking my opinion on that?
Yeah, just curious.
Because
like in weightlifting, the U.S. gets rocked, right? Like we don't do that great compared to the world.
it's fucking Eastern Europeans they're insane.
Would powerlifting be the same way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you'll never see powerlifting Olympics because no one can agree on a goddamn thing. And you can't put gear. You can't do gear in the Olympics. How the fuck are you going to do that?
Right. You can't.
How are you going to regulate gear in the Olympics?
Yeah. You'd have to go raw again.
Which is fine. I live raw.
Yeah.
So fine. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the fucking Olympics because I do too many drugs to fucking get drug tested.
Because America will never let you be the face.
Yeah, because America will never let me be.
Oh man, well,
I'm surprised you let me be the face of this thing.
We're gonna have to circle back and do another episode just in case there's somebody left that we didn't
piss off.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that now.
Trump.
All right. It's been a pleasure.
I love you.
Thanks, brother.
I fucking love you.
All right.
Now I'm gonna go collect another world championship.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to Lionheart Radio. Don't forget to rate us and download our other episodes. For your supplement needs, go to louisvive.com, and for your sports therapy needs, visit movement-rx.com.
This Midwest nigga be the coldest. Cleveland is the city where it's hustle or you hopeless. In my closet like a stove, bitch. Only difference is you ain't gon' find this in no stove, bitch. I'm fresher than your whole clique.